reach. So everything on the side of Alexandr Gvozdik. Gvozdik hails from Kharkov in the Ukraine, and he's a Robert Garcia fighter with Dr. Roger Anderson, and Mario Contreras. So we're all set to get this light heavyweight battle underway. It's an 8-rounder. So without further ado, let's go up to our ring announcer. Here's Lupe Contreras.
Ladies and gentlemen, we continue with our next bout of the evening here at the First Bank Center. Once again, proudly presented to you by Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated in association with La Cerveza Tecate Con Carácter and being broadcast worldwide on TopRank.com. This bout scheduled for a limit of 8 rounds in the light heavyweight division. The 3 judges are Ed Kugler, Tyrone Short, and Steve Waldman. The referee, Stephen Baleja. Introducing first, the fighter in the blue corner. He enters the ring wearing black with silver trim. He weighed in at an official 174 pounds. After stepping into the ring 26 times as a professional, he has 18 victories against 7 losses, 1 bout even, and 13 of those victories coming by way of KO. Fighting out of Baltimore, Maryland, Kori Black Eyes Kaming. His opponent across the ring in the red corner, wearing black with silver trim, he weighed in at an official 175 pounds. He enters the ring an undefeated pro with 4 victories, 3 of those victories coming by way of KO. From Kharkiv, Ukraine, and now fighting out of the Robert Garcia Boxing Academy, Oxnard, California, Alexandr "The Nail" Gvozdik.
Okay, gentlemen, we went over all the rules in the locker room. Step back, please. This is his bout line. I don't want anything here. This is his, nothing there, nothing in the back, okay? Is there any questions? Let's touch him up. Let's take care of this unfinished business. Let's go.
Alexander comes out in the black and silver, and also in black and silver is Kori. So the best way to describe him is the dark complexion guy is Kori Kammings from Baltimore, Maryland.
Who was trying to put the old Sonny Liston evil eye on Alexander across the ring. Let's see if it works tonight. We got another guy facing a gigantic height and reach disadvantage.
Well, this is the 3rd one in a row where we've had a tall guy. Gvozdik has quite a background. He had an extensive amateur career. He's an Olympic bronze medalist at the 2012 London Olympics for the Ukraine. But Kammings, 18-7-1, far more experience as a professional, as you mentioned, in against guys like Chris Henry, Montel Griffin, William Joppy Jr. 2 times, and Keith Holmes. Many of those guys are former world champions. So Kammings has been down the road. Hey, and Rich, you also mentioned when he stepped up in class, he wasn't successful, even though those guys were aging. But Gvozdik, this is probably the most experienced professional guy he's fought. So we'll see how he does here. He turned pro in April last year, won all of his pro fights, 3 by knockout, fighting completely in the United States of America, and working out of Oxnard, California, in the Robert Garcia gym.
But this is a very nice match for him. A stepping stone, obviously, for Gvozdik, and he's looking here to put a name on his ledger. A guy who's been in with a number of world champions, and who, by the way, in his last fight defeated Yusuf Mack, who's a pretty good fighter and with an outstanding record himself. So, he showed then that he's still got some life in those gloves.
Gvozdik is coming off a November stoppage of Otis Griffin in the 6th round in a fight down in San Antonio, Texas. And look at him, Rich. He's just a nice boxer. He sets it up with his left jab, nice soft right hand, and then he drives the jab perfectly, works downstairs to the liver area underneath that right elbow of Kammings.
Yeah, I like how he's working here in the 1st round. He's got great size for his division here. And he looks very rangy. He's taking control of the ring, which you like to see a tall fighter do.
And he's got the perfect body for a professional fighter. Those long, striated muscles, long arms, long-legged guy, nice uppercut. That put Kammings back on his heels for just a second. But notice all the different areas where he's touching this guy up. Below the left elbow. He'll hook him below the right elbow. He'll come with an uppercut, catch him on the chin. His jabs are nice and crisp, but look at the foot movement for a big, tall guy.
You know what I like here, Colonel? He's just out of the amateur ranks, basically. I mean, you talked about the fact that he won that bronze medal in the London Olympic Games. But if you look at him, he's got a good professional style in there. I mean, he's digging to the body, and he's landing a lot of punches. He's throwing punches with power. So I like the way he's fighting as a professional, even though he's only got, just a handful of fights.
He's not fighting as what they call the typical Eastern European fight, but you know something? None of what they call typical Eastern European fighters are fighting like that anymore.
They're less and less typical.
That's right. This is more typical of what the Eastern European fighters, when they turn professionals, all about. And they're learning in the good gyms between Oxnard and Abel Sanchez has a great gym up in the Big Bear.
There's Robert Garcia right in front of him from the great Garcia family, and Robert has just turned into one of the world's great trainers.
And then boom, okay? Measure, hook, uppercut, okay? He's open. Jab, step back, uppercut. Keep it, always measure. And then comes the hard punches, body, all right? Beautiful punches, really good.
Very clear, concise instructions from Robert Garcia in the corner.
And across the way, that's my old pal there with his back to you, Jimmy Smith, the great trainer from the Denver area here, working with Kori Kammings.
As you take a look at some of the action, see what I mean about controlling the ring. Good job by Gvozdyk in that first round. Established his style of fight immediately and just took over.
All right, this is scheduled for 8 rounds. Our first 2 fights, we had the... look at this! He drops him with a shot.
3.
How about that? The count's up to 4.
5, 6, 7, 8. Come to me. Ready?
He came right out through a big combination, landed. You could see that Kammings was hurt right off the bat, and he's in trouble right now.
Yeah, he is. And look at Gvozdyk is all over him, hitting him with solid right hands, left hooks. He better punch back or the referee will stop the fight. He's letting him get away with sitting on the rope. He got nailed 2, 3, 4 right hands in a row. And then he loads up a shot, this Kori Kammings, and he misses it. He's out on his feet. Look at his legs are gone.
He's got those stiff legs, too. The legs have stiffened up on him.
Ref wants to stop the fight. He's down for the second time. Remember, there is a 3 knockdown rule here.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come to me.
Takes the 8 count. He comes forward.
You all right? You sure?
He says, yeah, I'm okay.
He's lying, Colonel.
Of course he is. The fighters don't want to quit. There he goes down the 3rd time. It's all over. 3 knockdown rule invoked. And that's it. It's scored as a knockout as Alexander Gvozdyk handles Kori Kammings here in the 2nd round. It's all over.
Let me walk with you back.
And so Gvozdyk, I like what I see.
Well, that was impressive. I mean, he looked like a real pro. I think we've got another Ukrainian with a big future on our hands here, Colonel.
Well, he looks to be a good one. That was... Watch the first knockdown here, Rich, and take it away.
It was right at the start of the round. He came right up, but you can see Kammings is already hurt. Look at his legs stiffen up there. His left leg betrayed him right there. A couple of left hooks. He went down to the body, and down he goes from the overhand right. Gvozdyk did a good job of recognizing the predicament that Kammings was in immediately, and he did not give Kammings any opportunity to get himself back into the fight once again. He just poured it on till he went down again. He did manage to get up here. Referee asked him if he was okay. He said yes. He certainly wasn't. It was basically duck soup after that.
Well, but very impressive Gvozdyk, because we mentioned the fighters that Kammings stayed in with. He actually had a draw with William Joppy, the first time he fought. So Joppy's a former world champion, but Kammings couldn't stand up to Gvozdyk whatsoever. All right, we still have to get the official timing and particulars from ring announcer Lupe Contreras, so let's go up to Lupe.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout concludes with an official time of 1 minute, 10 seconds of round number 2. Your winner, by way of knockout, still undefeated, the Nail, Alexander Gvozdyk.
Well, I believe Robert Garcia has found himself another one.
Yes, he has. I like everything that I've seen from this kid. big, tall, rangy, light heavyweight with plenty of power. Didn't press himself. I mean, wasn't overly aggressive. When he had the opportunity, he took command, landed a whole series of punches that cost the first knockdown at the very opening of the second round, and then after that it was just, as you put it, I think you said duck soup.
And how about his nickname, Nail?
Yeah, that's a good one, huh?
All right.
All right, you'll see more of him